Hello everyone, this is Ravinder. I'm back with another very exciting and simple tutorial. So today we'll be creating, I hope you have already seen the video thumbnail. So today we'll be creating message board with some basic tools and shortcuts. So let's get started. So I'm creating a plane, right? And going to the edit mode and rotating it towards X and 90 degree, and I'm also scaling it towards the size of 4, right? So this will be our wall, right? So we need to make that extrude so that it looks like a wall. Alright, so let's create our switch board. I'm going to create a cube, scale it down, see the X-ray mode by hitting Alt and Z, moving towards Y-axis. Okay, where is the switch board? Going towards Y-axis. Yeah, here it is. Into front view and again scaling it towards X. So I'm not going with any real world scale. I'm just making it very, which appears good to my eyeball. So I'm scaling it towards X like this, right? So this will be my base switchboard, right? Now I have to select this board first. Wall, hit Control minus, and here you can see a hole. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to duplicate my box and make it visible from my viewport display and moving it to texture, right? So this will be my socket board, right? Now if you notice, the socket boards are generally very thin, right? All the switches and different sockets or whatever it is, these are like placed inside the board. So I need to scale it towards Y, something like this, or slightly more. Yeah, like this, right? And I'm again moving to the front view and the X-ray mode, scaling it slightly bigger, definitely, or towards Z as well, something like this, right? Okay, so we can make that board slightly more realistic. Maybe we can also add some bevels. So you can add bevel tool over here and simply reduce the amount, something like this, and you can increase the divisions. Okay, like this. Okay. Now you can move it towards Y so that it sticks to our wall, something like this. Now you have to make our socket first. So we have to create a cube, go to edit mode, scale it down. Yeah, something like this. Go to front view, slightly bigger. Yep, and I can push it towards x-axis like this, right? And this is behind the wall. Again, you need to move that by hitting G and Y like this, right? You have to make that thin line when you observe closely the switches. These are like slightly, they have slight hole in it, right? So what you can do is you can select the cube and the board, hit Control minus, and here it is, box, right? Now you can again go to the edit mode. Yeah, making a duplicate. So again you can make a duplicate of it and go to the mesh, viewport display, and again go to texture, right? And again we are following the same principle of creating that thin line across it. So again go to the front view, scale it proportionately slightly like this, right? And yeah, so this will be your socket where the switches are getting installed, right? You can move it inside, GY, something like this. It doesn't need to be perfect, because perfect is, when you make perfect, then it slightly looks fake. So you can do slight variation like this, right? Okay. So now if you have created the shape, I can probably reduce the shape a little bit. So once you have created the shape, I can probably reduce my shape because it's like open from back. So I can go to the edit mode and GY, scale it something like this, right? Yeah. So here it is. Now to create that sockets, so you need to create a cylinder. It's already there. So now you can go to edit mode by hitting tab and rotate towards X 90 degree, right? And go to the front view. So here you can see your circle. You can probably align it somewhere around here. Yep, here is the socket. And scale it somewhat like this, right? Now, since it's there in the back, you can again move it towards front, and again you can scale the Y dimension of it. Yeah, GY. Now you can hit shade that smooth. Now you can select the cylinder and the cube and hit Control minus, right? So here it is. But before that, let's do it. Let's create our other holes as well. So you can hit Control D, GZ. So you can scale it down, something like this. And again, you can go to Shift D, place it somewhere here, scale it down a little bit. Shift D, place it here, scale it down, right? Now you can select these sockets, GX. Now you can mirror it towards global X, GX. Now you can place it somewhere down here. It should be somewhere. Yeah. Now you can select all these geometries, select the cube, hit Control minus, and voila. Here you have created your first socket. You can probably adjust the alignment, move those somewhere here, and scale it up as well. Something like this. Yep. So here is your first socket, which is ready. Okay. So now you have to make that replicate towards right. So what you can do is you can probably go to the edit mode of that hole and go to the front view, Shift D, and move it towards somewhere down here. Right now you have a couple of holes, right? Yeah. And similarly, you can take that that socket shape and select all these holes. Yeah, select all these and go to again to the front view, Shift D, move it towards X. Yeah, it should be it. So yeah, now simply duplicate it. It's all there, right? Okay, now we have to make switches, right? To make switches, we need to select again the whole cubes now, and now go to the front view, Shift D, move it X, somewhere here. Now what you can also do is you can separate it out. Now to separate that selection, you can hit simply P in selection. Now it's already out, right? So here's it. So now you can simply go to the visibility, bounds, you can move it to texture, right? Now the same process, you have to select the cube, select the board, hit minus, right? So here it is. Now you have to make the switch boards inside it, right? Okay, so how do we do it? So first, let's duplicate this cube first. Now we make sure that we are in the textured space. Now let's reset its geometry to origin to geometry, right? Okay. we have to scale it in the edit mode, right? So scale the X value to 0.5, something like this. And again, you can go to the front view, move that cube to GX. You can also scale it slightly, that you have a gap around it, right? Yeah. Now go to the left view, go to edit mode, you can select the vertices, and you can probably choose the top vertices, G, Y, and you can make those like this, G, Y, like this, right? Okay. Now you can apply a scale by hitting Ctrl A and scale. Yeah. Now you're free to make a copy of it. Hit Shift D, GX, something like this. Now you can again go to the front view. Yeah, like this, and GX. A little bit more. Scale X, GX, GX. It's fine. Come on now. All right. Now you can. What you can do is again you can apply, select those and apply a scale, and you can flip one of these. You can right click, mirror global Z. Yeah, so it's on. See. Hooray! Okay, so this is our base setup is ready. So to do texturing, you can open the viewport. Oops, sorry, shader editor somewhere here, and what you can also do is first let's start texturing the wall. So for wall, I'm actually taking a material from Blender kit, and I'll paste the link in the description. You can check out there. So I've created a base material and name it wall. So I have to select these two, this principal BGF, and hold Ctrl Shift T and select all the assets, individual assets, right? And these are here. If this is not enabled in your system, then you can enable Node Wrangler add-on. So I've already described in one of my previous tutorial. So now I have to fix it something. So we have this roughness pass, we have normal pass, we have the height map, right? So first of all, let's set up a camera, because without seeing the result, we can't able to judge what is there in the material, right? So you can create a camera first. We have to adjust our view somewhere like here. I have to hit Ctrl Alt 0 so that you are in the camera view. So I'm simply changing my dimension from 0 to 0, like this. Yeah. Okay, now you have to make some lights as well. Lights, where are lights? This is the area light. Okay, right. So you can move it to the Y direction, rotate X90, scale it up. I'm going to enable the dimension, then the axis is here. So now I have to rotate it somewhere here, move it here, to the top, in the view. I can rotate it, scale it somewhere here, and make sure that I'm pointing towards these switches. Something like this, right? Now I'm in the camera view. Let's create another view. Yeah, something like this. Let's set up it as a window view. So yeah, cool. So why this is not visible? Good question. So if you see that there's a lot of things which are not visible. These are like hidden things. So you can enable all these, something like this points, right? Now if you move to the render view again, you still can't see it. Why? Because when you go to the viewport visibility, or I would say the visibility, so it's showing that everything is turned off. Yeah. So again you have to turn it on, and again turn it on for the switches. So this is again turn it on for the another switch, right? So as you can see that I'm enabling and everything is getting visible. So this is another tip where when you feel that you are like stuck and there's nothing to help you out, so just make sure to you are seeing these properties, I would say. Okay. Alright, so we are in the camera view and we have set up our light as well. So let's first make that light a little brighter, somewhere 500. Oh, there's a lot of light. Okay, sorry. Okay, now let's select our wall. So this is our material. So I'm seeing lots of roughness, but there is no color because color is not picked up by our node wrangler at all. So I simply plug that thing up and again go to that and select that color. Yeah, like now again I'm bringing that back to the base color. So yeah, here's our view, but still it's too broad. You can probably scale it down to 5 somewhere. Now you can see the result, right? I can probably reduce my displacement or the scale to 0.1 or maybe slightly lighter. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, great. Okay, now so this is our material ready, but I'm not happy with the screen color. Yeah, it's not my favorite. Personal choice. Just kidding. Okay, so we can change our hue saturation value somewhere here, and you can simply change whatever color you like. So this feels little royal. Yeah. So yeah, stick to this color. I'd rather say 72. Yeah, this is good, right? You have to save your project again, right? Make sure to save whenever you get a chance to do so, right? So this is your one light. Now let's do something with the material of switchboard. So now switch, guys, my keyboard really sucks. Board, yeah. Oops, I made a duplicate. So where's my nodes? So whenever you see the situation that you're not able to find your nodes, now what you can do is hit A. It selects everything. Now hit the dot key, the del key in your numpad, right? Whatever it's called. So yeah, just make sure to press that, and you can see your nodes, right? Okay. So I think I have given lots of tips today. I'll probably make another video with all these shortcuts. And hit like if you want to see a video with lots of shortcuts. Okay, so yeah, so these are my switchboard. Now go to roughness. I want to make it slightly rough. Okay, slightly you can increase the specular, metallic, yeah, slightly metallic. Now it's a white metal. You can also create some bump shader out of it. You can also do add a texture called. You can also take a noise texture over here, and let's include a bump node and factor into height, and this into the normal, right? This, yeah. All right. So you can reduce the scale, or maybe you can crank up the scale to 200, right? Wait, yeah, this is our color and the normal, right? And you can reduce the strength to 0.5. Yeah, this is cool. You can see the little grains which are already there. You can also reduce it, take it further. It's up to you. I mean, so it's based on your personal preference. Okay, so this is one, right? I mean, there are like lots of possibilities. I mean, if you are looking at lots of designer stuff, you can probably add more variations. Like you can add wave textures in it, and there are like lots of options when it comes to Blender. Okay, and I'm going to apply the same material to my switches. Now it's all done, but we can see that this area is slightly dark. Let's create an area light. I love area light. Totally. Yeah. Hit like if you are if you still love the area light. I like it so much. It has lots of possibilities and you can, control all your lighting, shadows differently. Yeah. So slightly here. Okay. And you can also increase the 80, slightly huge, 20. And then I don't want to cast a shadows like a distance light which is somewhere in the back. Slightly 30. I'm good with 30. Okay. And on this slide you can reduce it or maybe move it. I can probably shift my 3D cursor here and rotate it towards the 3D cursor. Right now, when you rotate it slightly like this, and you can see the effect, right? Like this. Yeah. If you feel that your switches are too bright, you can also decrease it to a raven, something like this. And under world settings, you can also change the color to slightly gray or something like this. So yeah, but I still feel that the switches are still too bright. So we can again fix those by going to the object mode, selecting the base color, switching to slightly darkish. Right? So yeah, the holes are not that dark, right? To make that these switches darker, so what you can also do is there's a trick. I mean, whenever you create a light, for example, let's create a point light, and when you reduce the intensity or the power to towards the minus side, right? Like as you can see here, right? You see the shadow which is impacting, right? And you can adjust the radius. Now I can just play with the darker value just to -10, yeah, somewhere like this, and go to the top view, select that light again. You can make that somewhere like this. Yeah. Now you can duplicate towards X and place that somewhere here. Yeah, so here you can see that it's slightly feeling dark to me, but I can see there's an issue with the geometry, right? If you select this one, so you can see that there's a issue. So this is might be shade auto smooth. Yeah, you can right click and do a shade auto smooth on this one as well, right? And I probably want to reduce my intensity of both the lights towards -2. I think -2 is great because it's on the minus side, so it's anyways doing that darker value, showing the darker value. So we can again select these two lights, make that slightly back. Okay, so this is your scene. What you can also do is to beautify the scene is enable the depth of field amount, right? And in the scene left view, you can again go to the viewport setting and you can show the limits. And under limits, you see the limit is down there. You can reduce it towards here. I mean towards the switches. And again, it's all dependent to your creativity. So yeah, so here is the final render of the scene, and I hope you liked it. Just want to know your thoughts. You can share your comments in the comment section, obviously, and you can follow me on Instagram. ravinder.design is my ID, and yeah, see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.